I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance.
When most people see a Honda Beat or a Suzuki Cappuccino, the first thing they ask is, what is that cute little car? Or how do you even fit in that thing? The first question we ask is, can we take these on a road trip?
I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now.
We're driving our little Japanese teacup cars from our home state in Virginia all the way to Texas, where everything is bigger. Or at least, I don't know how much longer this motor is gonna last. We're gonna try.
I just wanna now and turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna.
Well, Ben, we're back for our 7th road trip. And I've gone through the list, and all of our road trips, we seem to take really inefficient vehicles. They're
Horribly
all,
inefficient.
like, in the teens for gas mileage. So we're stepping it up, going to the big leagues
Yep.
with some K cars.
Yep. Big leagues with small cars. Folks, we've got a Suzuki Cappuccino.
And a Honda Beat.
I don't know about you, Ben, but I've always thought that little Japanese cars, little pocket cars are absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
But I never thought that I would actually fit into one.
I've always wanted one because they're the perfect size for me.
Yeah.
Like they were made for me.
Yeah, it's true. You are the same size as the average Japanese man, I think. so,
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, you have a very, this is a very cool looking car, I feel like. Like, it doesn't look like a car at all.
Pocket-sized NSX.
I don't know if I would go that far.
I think the K car designation means that they're 55 inches wide.
Yes.
It is also 650 cc, roughly, I think was the limit. They raised the threshold actually later on. It used to be 600 cc. They bumped it up for these guys, which are both around the 650 cc range. I like telling people it's a 0.6 liter. Very efficient.
Extremely efficient. In Japan, obviously, it's a little island. They don't have a ton of space. They also have a lot of people, and they wanted to reduce emissions. They wanted to reduce fuel consumption and give themselves more space in big cities. And so they went to little pocket-sized cars because, you know, Japanese people are on the smaller side anyways.
The answer to efficiency here seems to be to go even bigger with electric cars, 4,000, 5,000 pound electric cars.
How much does your car weigh?
Oh, 1,600 or so?
Yeah, that's about right where I'm at.
So let's see if the answer to efficiency is not electric vehicles, but rather smaller vehicles.
Yeah.
Shall we hit the road?
Let's do it.
All right.
A little showboaty.
Yeah, it was a little extra, huh? Probably the best thing about this car is the sound. I mean, ITBs. It sounds like a little NSX.
I have always wanted a Suzuki Cappuccino, but I never thought I would actually fit into one. But as it turns out, I technically fit, technically. One of the bigger drawbacks about these little K cars here in the US is that they were required by Japanese law to be limited to 83 miles per hour. They could not exceed that speed according to the rules and regulations of Japanese legislature. But you can get around something like that if you were to, say, install an upgraded ECU, which this little Cappuccino has, along with a whole host of other sporty upgrades. Stock, this car made about 60 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque. I don't know how much power it's making right now, but I do know that it's definitely making more than whatever Ben's driving.
Oh yeah. This puppy's pushing out 64 brake horsepower. So probably like 45, maybe 50 at the wheels. Not really sure, but the car only weighs about 1,650 pounds. It's not that bad. Power to weight is okay. It's plenty to get around, but it's also the perfect amount for having fun.
Gears and Gasoline road trips have usually featured some absurdly long driving distance for us to cover, but the K-Car was only built to drive around the small island of Japan. With low top speeds and short gear ratios, driving these cars all the way to Alaska would be too mechanically unsympathetic, even for us. So we're taking the smallest cars we could find to the state where everything is bigger. Texas.
He looks so happy. Oh, except for those guys.
Honestly, I'm getting pretty uncomfortable already.
Are you?
About an hour and I start to get really, it's unpleasant.
Legs?
Everything.
Oh.
It's because like my whole body is just touching, like squeezed against some part of the car, like every limb. I feel like these cars aren't really ideal for just like cruising necessarily. Like they're most fun kind of when you're doing a fun drive.
Yeah. I'm gonna take like a back road, lower speed limit, get my RPMs down.
Yeah, maybe we go and drive on a road that's a little bit more fun.
Blue Ridge Parkway?
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect for about how fast our cars can go.
It's like those roads were built for these cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, how's your little beat doing?
I had to go down to third, but at full throttle, I'm able to keep up the speed limit, so it's not that bad. So the beauty is, with a car that makes so little horsepower, I can get on throttle almost all the time, hear these ITBs roar, all while being under the speed limit. It's fantastic.
A Miata, an S2000. Anything else that, you know, for the US is considered a small sports car. With those cars, you might as well have a Koenigsegg for the amount of time that you are able to actually go wide open throttle before you're just obliterating the speed limit. In a Cappuccino though, wide open throttle, third gear, going uphill, 80 kilometers an hour. How fast is that? I have no idea. Am I breaking the speed limit? Who knows? But probably not.
It's kind of an interesting comparison because both of these cars don't even seem like they're in the same category. It's like I've got a NA 1.6 Miata and Ben's up there in an S2000. I paid less, but it's a lot slower.
Then this is a ZX-10R Kawasaki. So it's a liter bike, so it already has more displacement than either of our cars. And it also has more horsepower than both of our cars combined.
Yeah, like twice over.
So what type of person should buy a Suzuki Cappuccino? Well, as a test subject, I am 6'3", which in centimeters is like 1,000. This steering wheel is a 300 millimeter wheel, as opposed to I think like a 360 or whatever that comes factory. Kind of a must, I think, almost for anyone. Unless you have the shortest, stubbiest little corgi legs, I think you're probably going to have to go with a different wheel.
Over here in the Honda Beat, the door handles are comically small. They're very cute. It's a 2-finger only to open. Then to get in is pretty easy. You sit down, you kind of move your feet over, and you're in. I do have a detachable steering wheel. Can detach it, but it is kind of unnecessary anyway because I have so much room as it is. If I close the door, I mean, it's just a normal car.
If you fit nicely in a Miata, you'll fit nicely in a Cappuccino. And it has driving ergonomics that I would say match or exceed that of Miatas, which is high praise.
NSX, NA1, NSX, styling cues, very similar. See this line that comes up from the door? Goes all the way up, sweeps up, and then down through the radio console. That's also exactly how the NSX styling cues were.
Your left knee will definitely be touching here on the center console, and then your elbow resting here. As far as headroom, I would call that an inch if I sit sort of forward. Maybe, I have about that much headroom. Besides the fact that it's slow and the engine is difficult to service and the other various drawbacks, the thing I don't like is the fact that it has a rag top, Not a big fan of like soft top convertibles. I would much rather have, say, a hard top that can be both a T-top, a Targa top, or a full convertible.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a little bit faster.
I would
than
be
my
so
Beat.
scared to be that girl.
Well, Ben, my Beat coming up the mountain is quite a blast. It is really fun, but once you get near the top of the mountain, I have heated seats.
Oh.
From the motor being behind me.
Yeah.
It's like my back is sweating right now.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, it's an enhancement. Yeah, it's yatta. Looks like he's struggling to get up the mountain too.
You've got to get off the parkway. Okay, this is actually a great segue. There's a little surprise I've got for you, and we're pretty close to it, and it doesn't require any freeway driving to get there.
All right.
Okay, follow me.
All right. Maybe they have an AutoZam.
Yeah. Dude, it is a Mitsuoka Vute.
The interior looks like a Teletubby.
What? The interior looks so much more modern
It's
than
all
the exterior.
rounded.
This car has 1,400 miles on it, Ben. We're at Duncan Imports, which is a importer here in Christiansburg, Virginia, and they're famous for having just so many of everything. Specifically Figaros, Nissan Figaros, but also just lots and lots of imports. We've got Toyota Centuries here with, I think they're V10s or V12s. I think they're V12s. And then right across from them, we've got Chevys. Look at
Is this
that!
a Honda City?
I think it is.
Or is it a Honda Today?
It's a City.
Yeah, it's a City.
Oh my, dude, look at the back. It's got a hard hat. It's got a Japanese hard hat. Luke, come look at this.
It's got a full bench seat.
Oh, it's got a motor combo in the back.
Dude!
So they sold these Honda Cities in Tokyo. Come around, Luke. With the car, you got
A moped.
a moped that was like it folded up into like a little suitcase, and I think it probably came with that helmet and
Yeah,
the high
that makes
vis
sense.
vest.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Fun fact, my Honda Beat originally came in from here. It's got a little
Oh.
sticker. It says Duncan Imports on
Well,
it.
you brought it. You go.
I brought it home. Not really.
Yeah.
57 horsepower?
Yeah.
In
Pretty
1966?
impressive, dude.
That's about what my Beat makes.
Oh, it's a Pantera.
That's what I was thinking.
It's a De Tomaso.
Is it
dude.
actually?
Yeah. Holy cow.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah, 1973 Pantera.
I'm at a loss for words, dude. I've never seen one of these.
Neither have I. Touring model, it's got the Bose speakers.
So what we're looking at right now, this is a dealer. Duncan imports and sells cars. Like for example, Ben's Beat came from here, but none of these cars here, I don't think are actually even for sale. This is just part of the collection. Why does someone want an Isuzu V-Cross in their car collection? I don't know, but they have one right next to a couple of FDs, a Viper and a Pantera. They've also got a V-Cross.
Of course, they have a handful of Beats here, and it's really nice to be able to see all the different options. This one had this special color that only came out in '92. Does not have the optional rear wing, but the factory exhaust, which mine does not have, it's about the size of my thumb. It's just...
Yeah, I don't know. I heard something about them having a bunch of Figaros, but I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, they're like a Figaro collector or something, but...
Yeah, I mean, you would drive this very slowly. It's,
Well, I guess in a funeral you would drive very slowly.
yeah.
Dude, look at the hood ornament.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, if you're dead, take me to the cemetery in something comfortable. I just really, part of the reason I wanted to come here was so I could see a Figaro.
Right.
I just hope we get the chance.
This Beat has a hard top. I think this is an OEM hardtop, but also like there are aftermarket hardtops. I might have to look into getting one of those. But you'll also notice the zebra print seats. That's what came on these factory. Mine have the seat covers. If you didn't have those covers, this is what it would look like.
After wandering around for about 45 minutes inspecting the Duncan collection, I stole one of the employees, Carson, away from his work to become our tour guide for Japanese vehicles.
Okay, so the three kind of like key K sports cars are the Cappuccino, the Beat, and then there's a third one, right?
Yeah, the AZ1.
And who makes this?
AutoZam, which is a sub-brand of Mazda. This bespoke K sports car that kind of looks like a bunch of different supercars wrapped into one.
Yeah, I'm getting F40.
Yeah, with the wing and the side intakes.
And then some like Mercedes.
Yeah, some gull wing action there.
I've heard that the AutoZam is the hardest of the three to fit into.
Yeah, so for me, once I'm in there, like I have room to move around. But for me, the tightest cockpit overall is in the Cappuccino.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's the one I have. Yeah, oh, so the big issue I'm noticing is that I'm just looking directly at the roof.
Yeah, tall people do struggle with these.
I think I fit head-wise, but my feet are still
I'm so afraid I'm gonna bonk myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, yep. My feet on the pedals, this is where we're at.
Even the gauge cluster is smaller.
Yeah, this is so cool. So what is a Nissan Figaro, and like why do you guys have 8,000 of them?
We have 8,000 of them because the owner, Gary Duncan, he was there in Japan when they debuted at the '89 Tokyo Motor Show.
Okay.
And he just fell in love with it. He couldn't buy them because you had to wait 25 years to import them. Not everyone could buy them in Japan either. You had to be a Japanese citizen and you had to enter into a lottery to be eligible to buy it.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. To be exclusive, I guess.
It looks like they made a ton of them. Are they like a special car?
Yeah, they made 20,000 of them.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
And we have half of them.
Yeah.
Not half of them. We have about 90 of them between here and our Nashville location.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. They were made in what's called the Pike factory. And there were 3 other cars made in that factory, which we have here. We have the Nissan POW and the B1. And over there we have the S Cargo.
Never mind this Supra here. Let's take a look at the 14-inch TEs.
What? How did they get a Camaro in Japan and do this to it?
I guess they imported it from the US and for some reason they put this body kit on it.
And it's auto.
I know. And what's even worse is it's a V6.
And then you guys imported it.
I know. So I'm the photographer here. I take all the pictures of all the cars and put them on the website. I do usually about 4 or 5 cars a day. Now, mini trucks don't take as long because there's just not as much to them. So if it's just mini trucks, I can get like 6 or 7 of those done in a day.
So this is a Honda Acti. This has the same motor that my Beat has in it. Slightly detuned, but.
The second gen Century has the V12.
Okay.
The first gen here, right next to it, has a V8.
Okay.
This is the one everybody wants though.
Yeah. They sound incredible.
Yeah.
This is what I would feel like if I was shuttling around a Japanese dignitary.
Yeah.
This is so comfortable. Can we do a road trip in these?
So you can just lay here while you're being chauffeured. And then this flips down, and then you have an unobstructed view.
Shout out to C90 Adventures. He did a road trip from Alaska to Argentina on one of these things.
The Suzuki Mighty Boy.
Mighty boy, mighty girl.
That's a mighty girl.
Hey!
They have a his and a hers version
Yeah,
of
they're
a car.
inclusive.
I could just like walk through this whole facility with you for like the next 12 hours and just say, and what's this?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to? That's a Daihatsu Mira van version. This is called the EXA Sportback. So there's a company called Smith that makes these kits you can buy where you can cut the back of your Beetle off and put a truck bed on it. It's a roadster made by Smart. These were only sold in Japan. These are called the RV8s. And these have V8s in them from the factory. This is a Subaru Vivio Bistro. Yes, that's the real name of it.
We spent hours walking around the Duncan inventory, ogling cars we had no idea even existed at all, marveling at pristine condition examples of cars we used to own ourselves, and I still feel like I didn't get to see everything. But eventually, it was time to get back on the road in our own bizarre little Japanese cars.
An hour and a half from where we live. That's been there for
Yeah.
years.
I asked them how many cars they had. They said 600 to 800 somewhere. They don't even know. 4.1
At any given
gallons.
time, it could be 600 to 800.
Yeah.
How many of those do you think that they're actually selling?
I don't know. They kept saying that this is part of his private collection.
Do you think somebody's like going there and they're like, I'm gonna pick up, drop 15K on a 1992 Honda Accord wagon? Like,
Somebody is.
I mean, I want them. I
Right?
just don't have the money for that.
No, yeah. 15 grand will get you an STI.
Yeah, and I would much rather have a Honda Accord wagon.
We headed southwest, out of Virginia, and down towards the border of Tennessee and North Carolina.
Doing the math on RPM versus speed that I'm going, and I think that I have a Honda Acti transmission.
Oh,
I-
that's cool.
I believe those were intended to top out at like 55 miles an hour or much slower speed. It's like a 6.2 final drive. So that might explain why my RPMs are so high.
Your RPMs are like 2,000 RPM higher than mine at the same
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah. And it doesn't make it any faster.
No, it's very slow. I think
Yeah.
maybe slower than stock.
Oh. It's not a 93 pump. Do you have a 93?
Oh no. A Honda Acti transmission? Which would probably make sense.
Yeah. The final drive is actually massively different between the Acti and the Beat. The Beat had a 4.2 and the Acti had a 6.2. And that's also how much oil I'm leaking.
Ben, dude, first off, let me step down from here. I don't want to rub it in.
I had to buy this car in like a day.
I guess they're closing.
That would make sense.
So anyways, so we drove, what, 150 miles?
150 miles, which is the range of my Beat. You might be able to go 200 in yours.
I think mine is able to go about 200.
Yeah. What's the math on that? 30 miles per gallon would be 5 gallons.
Okay.
So it's better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what I got.
So 150 miles, 4.5 gallons, that's 33 miles per gallon.
Pretty good.
It's better than most. It's rated at 45, so our Honda Beat is special.
It's rated at 45, but that's assuming what, highway, right?
Ooh. Yeah. Do I need to do the math on that?
I am getting a lot better gas mileage than you.
Shocker. 38, that's still pretty bad.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be getting.
38?
Yep.
I guess at those speeds that we've been doing.
Yeah, like a mix of highway and back road is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe let's just do back road.
Okay. Why are we stopping for parts already?
I don't know, you were having issues with your headlight, right? Didn't you need something for that?
I don't need, no, I don't need anything for the car yet.
Okay, well I gotta get some oil. So,
Oil?
yeah.
That's a little alarming.
It's a 3-quart engine capacity. So I'm gonna grab 2 quarts. But they got the good stuff, the high mileage. All because of like a $10 gasket leaking, but whatever.
Some speed shine, some microfibers, because I've owned the car for 5 days now, and it's never been detailed under my ownership.
On the RX-7 road trip, I bought one of these, which is a little wedge cup holder. For cars that don't have cup holders, this just slides right between the passenger seat and the center console. Gives yourself 2 cup holders and a little spot for your phone. I still use this in my RX-7 today. I've been using it for 2 years.
It's
The best thing ever.
It's called a wedgie.
Oh, that's a tight fit. This car might even be too small for the wedgie. Oh yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
The exterior of this car is not not in great shape. Probably the worst part of this car, but you know, still deserves a little polish. A little spit shine.
Ben, are these your driving shoes?
Yeah, they are actually.
You know you're not supposed to wear socks and sandals?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty comfortable. When I'm in the cappuccino, it's a lot easier for me to drive if I don't have shoes on, because I have more leg room, so just slide them off and...
With my Beat topped up on oil, and given our close proximity, we stopped by one last road to test once and for all the spirited driving bona fides of our little sporty K cars.
Even on a tight, technical, fearsome road like the legendary Tail of the Dragon, you would have to screw up so monumentally in order to feel like you're pushing too far in a Suzuki Cappuccino or a Honda Beat.
Let me check. Yeah, I'm going 50 kilometers an hour, and the car will give it a little wiggle on the corner entry in these little small, tight corners. It is wonderful.
One of the downsides of having one of these little key cars is that they all came with 14-inch wheels, and really, I mean, that's what looks best on them, and that's what everything is calibrated for, speedometer, tachometer, all that kind of stuff. But finding 14-inch tires in the US is kind of a wild goose chase. So you just kind of take what you can get, and that's exactly what we've got on the Cappuccino.
Maybe a little frustrating on the uphill because you're just flat out for all of it and you feel like you're hurting the motor. I don't know if I actually am or not. I probably am. It's probably not meant for this. Going uphill again. Still going. 8,000, 8,500. Oh, got a corner. I'm going 40 miles an hour.
This is my third time here at the Dragon on all of these road trips, and even compared to a Miata, I would say that this is just a bit more fun. There's something really nice about being so carefree on a road that's usually really menacing in a faster car. And I think that's about as conclusive as it can get. These cars are amazing on a back road.
This is the best car ever.
So good, so fun.
I don't know why more cars aren't this small. Like, it's the perfect size.
This amount of horsepower, even on the Dragon, does not, you never feel scared, even on a super tight technical road.
Dude, I'm flat out everywhere on the limit of grip at, like, not even exaggerating, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, so that is, I think, a little bit drastic. These cars are peers. These cars came out the same year, and yet mine, I think, literally has double the horsepower of yours.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun because you're constantly flat out. You can get this thing to like slide a little at 30 miles an hour.
Well, that just means you have no grip. Here, I'm dominating you. Like, I just walked away.
Dude, if we were on a racetrack where we're not going uphill, this car would absolutely annihilate you.
Okay, so we need to find an all-downhill racetrack where your car can have a
it's not
chance.
an all-uphill racetrack.
I don't think it matters what environment we're in, Ben.
No, dude. Okay, look, we're not that far from Atlanta. There's a track there. I will show you.
Okay, all right, fine.
In Japan, the diminutive K car is built around a set of rules: no larger than 660 cc's of displacement, a top speed no greater than 140 kph or 87 miles an hour, and a power output of no more than 63 horsepower. So, before we made it to the racetrack, we wanted to see just how closely our cars were adhering to that Japanese power regulation.
I'm saying it's gonna make 32 horsepower.
That's really low.
If it makes one more horsepower over 32, I will be astonished.
Factory rating is 64 brake horsepower.
Yep.
So it should be around 50 at the wheels.
Yeah, should be, but obviously your car is an absolute dog.
It's a little worn. I think maybe like 45 or 40.
Then One other thing to know, I know you've had kind of a checkered past as far as having your cars on the dyno. I just really hope that this one doesn't go like the last one.
Have you not blown up a car in the dyno?
No. You have though.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You put 4 straps on there instead of 2. Did you notice that?
This is the most securely I've ever seen a car strapped.
He has got high expectations for this thing. I think he started the pull. Yeah, he's in 5th gear. The pull has started. Oh no.
No, that was still
one more
4th,
gear.
yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's it.
That's wide open
The
throttle.
pull has started for sure. All right, 3,500 RPM. There's 4,000. We're not quite halfway yet. That's 5,000. 5.5. 6,000. Now we're at about highway cruising speed. At 6,500. It's spewing out oil.
That's coolant, I think. Literally could not survive one dyno pull.
It's still alive.
So he was doing a pull in 5th gear, and he was not able to get to peak power band because it hit the speed limiter of the car, which is like 87 or something.
4th gear pull this time. Much quicker now. We're already at 4,000 RPM. 5,000. Listen to those ITBs roar.
6,000.
Oh yeah. A little bit of smoke.
I'm so scared for your engine right now.
It's still hanging in there. Yeah. We did a pull and it didn't blow up.
What did it make?
44.
44.
Wow, okay, I was wrong.
It's a little down on what it should be,
I
though.
was wrong.
That's still. What's the torque?
33.
33 foot-pounds of torque.
You want another pull or you want to?
I think that's good. Okay, here we have my dyno graph. It is a very nice curve. It looks a lot like my STI. Just take off one of the zeros on the end. It has a very smooth horsepower band. It looks like peak power is right a little into 7,000 RPM, which is my cruising speed on the highway. So we're right in the peak range there. That's nice. The torque, however, perfectly flat all across the board. Torque on tap whenever you need it, all 33 foot-pounds.
So 4th gear is 1-to-1.
Did you bore this thing out?
All stock. Look at how quickly it's accelerating.
Is it going?
Look at how fast it's sweeping through the rev range.
Dude, what? This is like stroked and cammed and big turbo.
Look at that.
Holy
Look at that.
crap! You make double the horsepower.
So just a quick walkthrough between the two graphs. Here you can see Ben's Honda Beat in the blue lines. And then if you just basically multiply everything by 2, these red lines here are my Suzuki Cappuccino. So this is just so embarrassing for you. I don't know.
It's not a K car.
It felt good to have so thoroughly dominated my co-host, and I was riding high on the hog when we decided to do one more dyno pull, just to take a closer look at the air-fuel ratio. But that turned out to be a fatal mistake.
Sounds like something disconnected, or I just lost a cylinder.
Oh! Oh! Too much horsepower is not a good thing now, is it?
Lost the cylinder.
Oh! Hey, now you still make more horsepower than me on 2 cylinders.
You're kidding. Can we pop the hood?
It didn't take long for Lewis to find the issue.
Foam here when you bought it, or?
That's what it sucked in? Yep.
Oh, yeah,
it did
there
have
was.
foam there, yeah.
Yeah.
So that sucked that into the intake, or your turbo. Too much horsepower will suck in an intake that's not rated to make 80 wheel horsepower, and it seems that his car has ingested an air filter.
I guess during this first hero pull where we made, I believe it was 80 wheel horsepower.
I mean, who's counting?
The extremely old air filter that used to be right here is not here anymore.
Luckily, we found the turbo filter, ground into a fine powder, lodged inside the intercooler. And we found the path that it had taken to get there, right through the now damaged blades of the turbo. We tried running the car without the turbo hooked up just to see if the car was drivable. No luck.
Sounds like a jet engine. Then I think your cappuccino has just gone decaf.
You're loving this.
I am absolutely,
You're
yes.
loving
Yes. Do you think it makes more power than mine without boost? Oh, it doesn't look like it does. Ooh.
You should walk away.
I'll drive away. I can just drive.
Okay, first of all, Ben, I never want you to speak again. We know, it's very funny. Yes, ha ha ha. I was filled with hubris. Okay, I've gotten my comeuppance. Oh, ha ha ha. It's a decaf cappuccino. Ha ha ha. Very
Frappuccino.
funny. That doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Blender. It's
All
literally
right.
blended
Stop
the air
talking.
filter.
Like I said, please never speak again. We are going to take a little break.